This is where everything starts. And honestly, it's the most important part of this whole thing. Pass Thatch is 100% right. Every processor has that one block that nobody pays attention to. Aha! The forgotten child. The one that you scroll past, like, yeah, you'll be fine. So today we're giving the forgotten child their moment. We're breaking down the input block, what it does, why it matters, and how it secretly decides whether your guitar feels like butter or like a brick tuned to E standard. Let's fix the part of your preset that's been quietly screaming for help since day one, when all you really had to do was play with it for 5 minutes. Now let's get into it before one of these amps wakes up and asks me to replace their tubes. All right, roll the logo. Let's get into why we're here. So we're starting at the input stage where the feel really begins. Noise gate, impedance, pad, all the stuff that decides whether your guitar reacts like butter or like a brick. All right, the first bite. This is the input stage. This is where everything starts. And honestly, it's the most important part of this whole thing that most people skip over. But if the feel isn't right here, nothing downstream is gonna behave. So here's what I'm doing. First, we have to talk about the noise gate. This is the bouncer of your guitar signal chain. Its whole job is to stand at the door and go, "Hey man, are you on the list?" A noise gate isn't here to choke your guitar. It's just here to keep the junk out. The stuff that goes hum and hiss. The little gremlins that live in your pickups. When your playing is above the threshold, the gate opens up. When you stop, it closes. That's it. That's it. When you stop, it closes. That's it. And no, noise gates aren't for metal chuggers that have 14 strings tuned to drop Z. Clean players use them too. Funk players use them. Worship players use them. Anyone who wants a clean noise floor uses them. Threshold decides when the gate opens up, and the decay decides how fast it closes back down. If it happens too fast, it feels like your guitar is getting cut off mid-sentence. Too slow, and it feels like you're dragging a noisy partner behind you. Set it so it cleans the room, not so it kicks you out of your own show. I got my input gate on, my threshold's at 45 dB. The decay is at half a second because I don't want to squash out the sound and I want it to breathe and give a little. This part right here, the guitar in impedance, this matters way more than people think. Okay, but why does my guitar even care about impedance? My guitar amp cares about speaker impedance, but now my guitar does too? Different impedances completely. Speaker impedance is about power. Guitar impedance is about how your pickups load the amp. One keeps your amp alive, the other decides whether your guitar feels like butter or like a brick, tuned to E standard. So one is don't blow up your amp, and the other is don't make your guitar sound like trash. Exactly. Now, pickups react differently depending on how much load you put on them. Load? Like emotional baggage load? No. Electrical load. Just listen. Single coils are bright, so they need a little load. Usually about 230K to 500 kilo. So like a gentle hug? Yes, a warm, supportive hug. P90s, they're in the middle and feel best around 500K to 1 mega. So like a hug with eye contact. Sure. Humbuckers are darker, so they like to breathe at 1 mega ohm or higher. Mega ohm, maga ohm. Stop it. It's just a million ohms. And active pickups don't care since they have a buffer. 1 mega ohm just keeps them clean and happy. To make this simple, 22 to 32K is a fuzz style. It's a fuzz style loading. dark, squishy vintage. 70 to 90K is like front loading your amp with a pedal board. Round, softened, classic pedal board feel. 230K to 500K is like a classic amp input. 1 mega ohm is more like a modern amp input.
So the higher the number,
Yeah,
the more my pickups can breathe.
lower the numbers, load them down. Higher numbers, open them up.
So actives hit the amp like emotionally unavailable people.
Exactly. They don't react to anything because they are buffered. I run 230K because it feels like a real amp input without making the guitar feel like it's yelling at me.
And if your guitar feels wrong and you didn't change anything else,
Then adjust the line 6 input impedance.
I've got mine set to 230K. That gives me the feel of a real amp input without feeling stiff or way too bright. If you've ever plugged in to another digital amp and felt, man, something just doesn't feel right, it's probably that. Check that setting out. Then the next part is your pad. Now this is the part that's more of a know your gear kind of thing.
But we can't forget the pad. This is the My Pickups Are Too
Spicy.
button.
The pad knocks down your signal by a fixed amount so you're not slamming the front end of the Helix.
You finally said something constructive. The Helix pad is roughly -6 dB. It protects the A and D converter from overload.
If you got
Super hot humbuckers or actives, put that away. But yes, if you're clipping the input, turn it on. If you're not clipping, leave it off. It's not a tone feature, it's a calm down bro feature.
If you're noticing that you're clipping because you have super hot pickups, then turn it on. I leave mine off.
So that's the input block. The kid nobody checks on until the whole preset is failing math, setting fires, and blaming the amps. Give it 5 minutes of attention, and suddenly it's winning awards, solving world problems, and making the rest of your chain look lazy. Parent your presets, people.
So that's the front door, clean, controlled, and predictable. If that part feels right, then the rest of the preset is way easier to dial in. All right, well, I'm Thatch. This is the Helix, and this has been my TED Talk on emotional tone stability for guitarists. Roll the logo, I'm getting coffee.